What's up, y'all? It's Vanity Rose, and we rocking with Kountry Fan Mail.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy KlueDaDon, Kountry Fan Mail Podcast, Season 5, Episode 10, 11. I can't remember, but it don't even matter. I appreciate everybody that's been tapping in and listening all around the world, then getting new listens everywhere. I think we added Czech Republic, Libya, some other crazy places. I didn't even know y'all had internet out there. I ain't gonna hold you, but it's all good. I appreciate y'all. So today we coming in with a really, really dope group. And this is actually my first group having on the podcast, so I'm really excited. And, I always got to show love, sent to the South. Anything coming out of the South, I always have a really special place in my heart. Been tapping in with them for a little while. That music is a motherfucking bop. Y'all probably already heard of it. But if y'all haven't, y'all will today. I want to introduce the beautiful ladies of the group, Vanity Rose. What's going on, everybody?
Hello.
Hello. Hey, how y'all doing out there?
Yes. I appreciate y'all coming on to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Already. Yeah, y'all definitely be doing a lot of things. And like I said, I've been seeing y'all, man, moving and shaking. And like I said, I have a lot of questions for y'all. But first question I have to ask, y'all can answer individually, one at a time, whatever y'all want to do. Mm-hmm. What was the first song that y'all listened to when y'all woke up this morning?
Shoot. I don't think I listened to anything, to be honest.
Okay.
I listened to Jasmine Sullivan, Girl Like Me. Yeah.
Okay.
Not bright in the morning though. It was at 3 or something.
For sure. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Listen to Rich Flex by 21 and Drake.
Okay, so that's crazy. Y'all had 3 very different answers. So started with the Rich Flex. What kind of vibe were you trying to set when you woke up? Hit play on that shit.
Well, that's kind of how I wake my kid up. So I play it and it wakes him up and it makes him happy and he starts dancing in his sleep and it gets
That's what's up. That's real. And what about Jasmine Sullivan?
I'm just a Jasmine Sullivan fan. So whenever I'm doing anything, any work to stimulate myself, let's play her or some old school Monica something. But yeah, I love Jasmine Sullivan.
Man, I get you in your feels. I feel like every time I hear Jasmine Sullivan sing, I immediately feel a way, and I ain't even had dealt with it. It don't even matter what it is, for sure. And I really can't let it go by. So when you say you didn't listen to anything, is that kind of like a ritual that you do? You just kind of wake up and
if anything, and my sister can attest, I might just sing my own song before I listen to anybody else's song. I will be up in this house making up a song before I listen to music like that. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I respect that. Okay. So I really like that y'all had 3 different answers because, like I said, y'all are a group, and if y'all don't know, well, before I get ahead of myself, I really would like y'all to all take an opportunity to introduce yourselves, who y'all are, and what y'all contribute to the collective.
Okay. Well, I'm Honey, and I am I would say creative wise as far as visually for the group. I kind of take charge of editing and recording our vlogs and stuff like that for YouTube, and I'm more of the manager's assistant.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it comes to more business stuff wise, getting us and even helping with getting us bookings and stuff like that. That's mainly my role, other than being, of course, artist and rapping and writing and stuff like that.
Well, I'm Henny. I play a role in just I do a lot of the raps. I do a lot of the rap writing. I help with
that Pushing P freestyle was crazy, by the way. Yeah, we'll go ahead.
Thank you.
I help with the melodies on songs. I'm really I feel like the background I come with a lot of good ideas when it comes down to we should do this, or we should do this trend or something like that, or we should sing this, or we should hop on this wave. And I feel like I have a lot of good ideas because I be tapped in or whatever. So
It is funny. I realize that y'all sketch, you really do be like, you be the one that be like super really animated into it. So I can tell you be coming up with the ideas.
So Hazel be the one that be animated, but I be the one giving her it's like, oh, we should do this. Like
Yeah,
I'm the one
the comedian.
right. She's the funny one. Like she's very animated and she's very like she'll tell you who she is.
Yeah. I'm Hazel, and like they said, I'm definitely the comedian. You know what I'm saying? Make a little giggle, everybody. You know, I like to have fun. Definitely the versatile voice. The voice is just very versatile. Can do a lot. Writer, rapper too. You know, and that's pretty much it. I'm just just here, baby. I love it. I'm just here.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. And like I said, listening to y'all stuff and just seeing y'all's content. For one, I feel like sometimes there can be such a difference between somebody like a person's content or a group's content versus what their music sound like. And I really feel like I get enjoyment out of both because it literally seems like, you know what I'm saying, y'all really all do come together. Like I was actually just thinking about the skit y'all did. I think it was the Christmas joint when somebody came through and pulled the that was I was like, when was she pregnant? And then I wasn't paying enough attention. I was tripping. I was just like, okay, I really like how they did that.
Oh my goodness.
We had fun doing that.
They talking about when was she pregnant?
Yeah, I was just like, nah, I didn't even know what was going on. But so like I said, y'all, what I said off the interview, y'all have a really crazy chemistry, you know what I'm saying? Like seeing y'all and just talking like that when y'all were doing the insomnia cookies, like just y'all could tell y'all been around each other for a long time. So kind of taking it all the way back. Kind of tell me about, the early Vanity Rose, if y'all even went by Vanity Rose. And also, was there a fourth member or am I tripping?
It was a fourth member.
Where? Okay. We don't gotta get into it. I just want to know, I do my research for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I said, yeah, we can forget that. We just talk about early.
Oh,
I didn't mean to make it awkward.
Oh no, it wasn't awkward.
Oh no, it's not awkward yet. We had a fourth member. We still cool with her to this day. I mean, she does her own thing. She does a lot of things. She's very still close to her. It's no nothing. It just didn't kind of work out at the time.
For sure.
The time that she was in the group, it kind of didn't. I guess it didn't make sense for us. What I would say, but I mean, at the end of the day, she's dope. We love her still.
Yeah,
that's dope. That's real dope. Okay. So kind of tell me about like when did y'all meet and when did y'all kind of come together and make the group?
I met them when we were in high school. Just in the hallway.
Was that Nathan Hall, right?
Huh?
Nathan Hale or something like that?
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah,
it was. So they spent some time in Tulsa, Oklahoma in high school, but then they ended up moving back to Georgia, and I met them when they moved back to Georgia.
Makes sense.
And we were friends first for like almost a year before I even knew that anybody could sing. And then it was like their mom's idea. She was just like, when we all figured out that everybody, was talented, she was just like, y'all should be a group, and we were just like, let's do it. And we did it.
That's dope. That's real dope. I mean, I feel like, since some people try to make the story just so much more complicated, but it's just like, nah, we all cool, we all dope. Let's go ahead and do it together. All right. So when y'all first started making music, who would y'all say that y'all were kind of trying to like make your music around, or was it just kind of completely original?
Yeah, it was definitely original. Like we did covers and stuff like that, but we always did it like our way. We never like went in and did a straight cover. It was always we did like a remix to Walk It Like I Talk It, and then we had really straight up like vamped it. It was different. So we definitely did our own thing. We were finding ourselves like when we were first starting, we was just kind of finding ourselves and trying to figure out like what sounds good, and it always did. What I can say honestly is we've never, even though we've been doing this for like 10, almost not 10 years, like maybe 7 years, we've never had like bad music. Like to this day, we still have really, really good music that we had like 7 years ago. Like we were always, but we never rapped though. We just started rapping like in 2019.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell for real. Like I couldn't tell. Like y'all really I feel like all of y'all have, you know, saying y'all have amazing voices, but then also when I hear y'all spit, even if it's just a few bars, you know, saying interchange on the verse, like I'll be like, there's a lot of confidence in it, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all got a lot of, you know, that pushing it. So I could definitely feel that. So kind of come. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It takes practice in the studio.
For sure.
Yeah.
So were y'all always kind of in the studio, or was it kind of like y'all were kind of, you know, recording at home for a little bit and then eventually kind of transitioned to the studio?
Well, we were kind of always in the studio. It was like, it would be like home studios for people who like, you know, have the equipment and stuff like that. But it was always kind of like a studio kind of setting. But we didn't start rapping. We randomly just started rapping. Like we heard a rap song and they told us, and we liked it and we wanted to do it. And they was like, if y'all can do it, y'all can keep the song. So we just, and then ever since then we just started rapping and singing, because who's doing both?
And you know, that's one thing that you know, when I was doing my research and I was really trying to, you know, just kind of, you know, just get my mind right and trying to, you know, compile information, I was just like, I really haven't really thought about another group. I mean, and not right now, not currently, you know, saying that has that mix of the singers and the rappers, and not just that, but also have personality, because that's something different that you got to add that, you know, saying those groups back then didn't necessarily have to worry about. And it's crazy because I listen to songs like Any Bitch, and I ain't gonna lie, like I'll be the motherfucker, like I'll be blasting that motherfucker right here, like motherfuckers be looking at me like there's only two females I play all the time, that's Vanity Rose and Glorilla, because it don't matter, that shit gonna ride at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So like, so tracks like that, you know what I'm saying? I know what they're, you know, I can kind of vibe or feel what they're for or what they're meant to do. But kind of what was the mindset when y'all made that track? You know, like where would y'all want that shit to be played at? Got fuck with it.
Me, I wanted it to be played in the club, like, but when the club finna end though, because that's when everybody want to fight. So when everybody good and drunk, cut it on at the end of the club, like 10:50, like nah, like 1:00 in the morning, cut it on and just let it ride.
Because I feel like you don't really get that type of energy no more. I feel like the last, I mean, you know, you had to play. It's like playing Knuck If You Buck at the beginning of the night. You can't do that because like, you're gonna be too hype. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, what was you saying?
I'm sorry, tonight and already, you know, in there.
Exactly. So moving into y'all's track, Pretty Girls Get Lonely Too. So that was that was probably the first track that I heard from y'all. And for one, I mean, I really fuck with it, you know. So I definitely fuck with it. I feel like, you know, saying y'all have the range, you have the mix of the, you know, the rapping and the singing on the same track. And it's I mean, I hate to use the word commercial when I say that. It kind of comes out, it can have a bad connotation, but like I feel like it can be played, it can be in a movie, it can be played on the radio, it's something that you listen to on, you know, saying, going down the street, it could even be played at the club. So like, kind of how is that track, you know, saying, been doing for y'all as far as like how is it being received, I'll say?
I think it's being received. Not, I think it's being received great. We actually did like top 50 on urban radio with it, so it's doing really well. I think it's very self-explanatory and relatable to, you know, sometimes what's going on in these days. You know, pretty girls get lonely, you know, and it's okay though. So, you know, I just feel like, you know, it's doing well for us, and it's definitely, we have a video coming up for it, so we about to push it.
For sure, definitely like that. And so, and I want to ask a question. Like I said, I'm a kind of segue away the way that I was gonna ask it, because I don't like to ask people about their personal life, or their dating business or whatever. But I will say, being in the industry, being doing it for 7 years, you know, saying, having the success that you've had, do you feel like the energy that you have around you, whether it be people that are interested in you know, being with you, or people who are just interested in being around you, how can you kind of, you know, has it changed, and how has it changed, would y'all say?
Good enough. Both of y'all made the face like that.
I mean,
like, you should have said these questions ahead of time.
No, I don't think it's changed really. Like, we've always kind of been just like, not the three of us, but we always been kind of like small circle. It kind of been just the three of us and maybe like a few other people outside of family. So We kind of just are the same way. We've always been that way for whatever reason. That's just our personalities. But like we do hang out with people and we go out and people treat us like regular, like around here. Like in Atlanta, everybody's like a celebrity anyway. So it's just like everybody treats everybody normal, but people are really cool. I haven't had any encounters where I feel like people want to be around me because of music or the industry or anything like that. So
yeah. I think I've had an instance where people have wanted to be around a little more than they used to be because of, I don't know if it was true or not. I can't really even say that that's really happened because I just sometimes it's just people like, okay, oh, I see what's going on, but I don't know. I feel like maybe they do treat us the same. I think I don't know. They probably drunk when we go out, so I don't know.
Yeah, I never really had those. I had like experiences where people would like come up and like, oh, y'all from Vanity Rose, because we went viral a couple times, you know what I'm saying? And if you would look like on Shade Room and stuff, we kind of went viral a couple times, probably twice. But I be in the house most of the time. If y'all see this big old bed, like that's just where I kind of be, so I don't really go out like that.
For sure. Okay. And I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. I feel like, and I'm glad y'all said as far as like everybody and you said everybody in Atlanta is a celebrity in their own right. So do y'all feel like there's a lot of, I'll say I'll just say, do y'all feel like there's a lot of competition out there as far as the other groups trying to get established, trying to get on, or do you feel like everybody kind of fits into their own lane?
I would say everybody kind of fits into their own lane. Everybody do their own stuff. I mean, at this point, it's kind of just about how many, fans you got. So if you got the numbers, you got the fans, you kind of in your own lane. But
yeah, I think it's to me it's just feel like how relevant you keep going. Like if you just keep becoming relevant, and then that kind of factors in a lot. Like just keep putting yourself out there. Like if you see some of these people, they just always on social media, you just looking down your timeline, they always up there. Like I feel like that's just kind of what it is. You just got to always put yourself out there.
Yeah,
for sure. I definitely think that's the difference between those, the artists that I feel like I kind of said it earlier as far as having that presence and y'all's presence on social media, that engaging with your audience, you putting out that content, always being in their face, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't so much of a thing. It was kind of cool for an artist not to have any type of footprint. It's kind of like, remember like when The Weeknd came out, ain't nobody even know what he looked like.
right.
When her came out, we didn't know what she looked like, but nowadays it's only gonna go for so long before somebody gonna be like, nah, you know what I'm saying? It's not even necessarily just about, like I said, what you look like. They just gotta associate something with something.
Right.
Yeah,
it takes a lot. But so kind of changing the segue in a little bit, kind of asking different questions. So when it comes to artists out these days, who would y'all say y'all fucking with the most?
Ooh, that's hard.
R&B, hip hop, whatever genre y'all want to go.
My top favorite gonna always be Chris Brown. That's just who I mimic. Niggerish ways, all that. That's just, you know what I'm saying? Chris Breezy. That's my baby.
Okay.
I really like of course Beyonce and Walker and Jasmine Sullivan. I mean,
can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong with those.
For sure.
Yeah. I would say SZA. I'm loving some SZA.
You like this recent album?
I love her album.
Better than
Control.
Yeah, Control. Yeah.
I don't know about Better Than Control because I still listen to Control, but I do love her album. She did her thing. I appreciate
it. For sure.
She definitely did on this new one.
Yeah.
It was different. I feel like she, it took a different turn. I wasn't really ready for it. I think I wasn't ready for it.
I will say that too because when the rock song came on, I kind of was like, what the fuck is this? Is this a different album?
The album switched up on me. I thought Apple Music was tripping or something.
I had to look at it. I'm like, okay, sister, I see what you're doing.
Give me another question. So I'm gonna get a little weird for a second because I did a little research and I think I'm a surprise, saying at least two of y'all. So I was told or I found that one of y'all used to have an obsession with the movie Jeepers Creepers.
Oh,
It was you.
it was me.
I'm pointing to the wrong side. It was. Yes, it was.
I'm like, where's y'all?
Well,
You
okay.
did.
What about Children of the Corn?
It was Hazel.
It was not.
I don't think it was none of us. He pranking us.
Nah, I
He's gotta be
promise you. I
no,
didn't.
because those was our Henny. Those was our favorite. Those was our movies back then. Now, Obsession, that was not my obsession.
It was mine.
So it had to be Henny. Henny could have been drunk when she was saying that too.
It was Honey's.
No, I don't
It
even
was
watch
Honey's.
movies like that.
Oh man, it was like y'all was pointing at
Like
each other.
that. Scary movies to me are funny. They don't do nothing for me.
They don't scare you at all.
Mm-mm.
Damn.
No.
My favorite scary movie series was Scream. That was my favorite.
Mine.
All the Scream sequels, all that.
You watched it? Are they coming out with a new one?
Scream.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about to be the first one up in there watching it. First one. My little popcorn.
Not your little popcorn.
Crazy. But nah, yeah, this been good though. So yeah, y'all ready to go ahead and get started with the interview though?
Ooh.
I'm just joking. Hey, shout out to Funny Marco. I had to do that. Funny Marco, I had to try that one time. But nah, so now for the real way, I really do appreciate y'all. You know, I want to give all y'all opportunity to. I like to have a moment where I do talk about mental health, and I just want to tap in and really, I feel like when we ask each other, like, "Oh, how you doing?" Like, "Oh, I'm good. How you doing?" "Oh, I'm good." But like in a real way, like, how are y'all doing? And if y'all are going through anything, you don't got to get too deep into it. But like, what would be the advice that you could give to somebody else if they're going through
something? I would say take a break. Sometimes you just need a second to breathe. Think about what you're doing. Think about what you need to do. Write it down in order. Set goals for yourself. Not too many. Like, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't list 30 things you're going to think you're about to get done in one day. Maybe do 3. Maybe do 4. And you know what I'm saying? Just breathe. Maybe smoke a little weed. I don't know. I'm just saying. But, take your time. And it's okay. It's okay. Keep pushing.
For sure.
I agree. I would say, take your time. Definitely. It don't matter how old you are, how young you are. You could be 54 years old and you could get your breakthrough when you're 60. You know what I'm saying? It don't always race your own race. Don't look at nobody else's journey and say, okay, I should be doing this because that's their journey. It's not yours. Always follow your own journey. Do what works for you. Set boundaries and just, love yourself. Like you said, take your time. Do self-awareness day, self-spot care days, and because it's definitely needed. You need a mental health break. If you're just going and going and going and going and going, and one day you're gonna break down, and it's just stop. Just stop.
In the words of Kendrick Lamar, one day it's gonna burn you out. I'm sorry, but y'all keep going.
Facts.
My major word would be sobriety. Sobriety. That's it, right?
Sobriety.
Practice being sober, y'all. That was my biggest mistake. You know what I'm saying? That was my biggest flaw, was just every day wanting to drink and just have fun and party. And it's just, I just had to take a step back and put the drink down. Sobriety. You know what I'm saying? Be sober. You have a clearer mind when you are sober. Your head pray. It's just a lot.
It's on my nerves. Pray.
For sure. That's some serious shit. I don't think I've ever heard that combination, but I've never heard it just that straight up, because I feel like, a lot of people, I hate to sound old. I'd be like kids these days, but nah, it's just like, I feel like there's a generation where it's just like everybody just wants to be fucked up all the time, and there's like no turn off at all. It's like they gotta get fucked up to be ready to be fucked up, so they can think about not being fucked up. It shit kind of just it's crazy. And like, don't get me wrong, I partake in my things.
That was a bar.
Gotta get fucked up. Just get fucked up.
I couldn't let it slide.
Hey y'all, hey, listen, y'all take that shit. Somebody take it.
Use that.
Just give me a shout out at the end of the song. But for sure. But speaking of upcoming music and upcoming things y'all have going on, please shout out anything that y'all have upcoming and let everybody know where they can follow y'all and where they can find your music now, which is everywhere. But yeah.
Okay, we definitely have this new video. I definitely want to stress this out, y'all. We have this new video coming out of Pretty Girls Get Lonely. I want y'all to be on it like grits on a nigga who did you wrong, baby. Please. Please. We got a new video, baby. It's coming out. And follow us at The Real Vanity Rose on all platforms. Don't forget Spotify, all the things on the Apple Music, all that is going up. So you know what I'm saying? Be on the lookout, listen, you know.
And wait, you have something else called TikTok out. It's coming out after Girls Get Lonely.
Hey, that shit go hard too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the whole song is just it's crazy. So we social media, but we haven't dropped it yet. The video is gonna come after that, and it's going up. So I need y'all to also go stream that as well. Go run the views up on Instagram. You can follow me at _ Hennessy Marie.
Me at OfficiallyHoneyy with 2 Y's.
And y'all can follow me at _BigHaze_.
Man, I really appreciate y'all coming on. Like, it's really been a pleasure talking to y'all. Miss Honey, Miss Hazel, Miss Henny. It's really been dope. Like, I really give, you know what I'm saying, all y'all the best wishes going forward. And we're going to stay tapped in for sure. And like I said, y'all keep doing y'all's thing. Everybody that's tapped in watching, I definitely appreciate y'all. KlueDaDon, Kountry Fan Mail Podcast, Vanity Rose interview. We out of here.
Thank you. Bye.